Hello, in this video I'm going to show you how to express one quantity as a percentage of another quantity, and we're going to do this without a calculator. So let's check out the process. So to do this, we are first going to write the quantities as a fraction. So the bigger number will go on the bottom. That's what you need to remember. So express it as a fraction. Then we are going to see if we can make an equivalent fraction with a denominator of 100. So if yes, you do this and you replace out of 100 with a percent sign, and then you're done. But if no, you've got to times it by 100 over 1 and continue. And then we're going to use this bow tie method where we look to cancel vertically or cancel diagonally, but we cannot cancel horizontally. And in this orange box, there's some divisibility rules to help us do this. So you might want to pause the video and have a read. And let's check out what we have. So express each of the following as a percentage. 18 out of a total of 30. So here's my process. We're first going to express it as a fraction. All right, so fractions are just the amount over the total amount. So usually always the smaller number over the bigger number. So that's it as a fraction. And now they're asking for us it as a percentage. So you ask yourself, can I replace the denominator with 100? So is 30 a factor of 100? It's not, sadly. So we can't do that. We've got to continue and we go to this step. So we're going to times this fraction by 100 on 1. Times it by 100 on 1. And then we're going to look to cancel. So I'm going to look vertically. So this is called the bow tie method. So bow tie is where we look to cancel vertically. That's this bit of the bow tie. And then we look to cancel diagonally. That's that bit of the bow tie, just to let you know. Bow tie method. All right, so vertically, 18 on 30, these are two even numbers, which means that they have a common factor of 2. So I can make this a bit smaller if I like. You might also notice that there's a common factor of 3 between them, but this method will get us there eventually, okay? So 18, let's simplify it a bit. 18 divided by 2 is 9. 30 divided by 2 is 15. And then just write that times 100 on 1. And now looking here, well, the common factors, I can keep going. So these are divisible by 3. So 9 divided by 3 is 3. 15 divided by 3 is 5. And then we're timesing that by 100 on 1. So I'm just going to rewrite that over here. 3/5 times 100 on 1. And so what else are we looking at? So we've looked vertically and we've cancelled. Okay, nothing to cancel on the right-hand side. Let's look diagonally. Is anything to cancel there? No. And well, let's look diagonally here. Okay, there is a common factor because 5 and 100 have a common factor of 5, right? Because they end in 0 or 5. So that's when you can simplify it a little bit more, because we're trying to do this without a calculator, okay? So let's check it out. So simplifying a little bit more. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 100 divided by 5 is 20. Because 5 2s are 10, 5 20s are 100. And now we're finally ready to multiply numerator by numerator. So 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 20 is 60. And 60 over 1. You just don't worry about that 1 on the bottom. Any number divided by 1 is itself. So this is it as a percentage. So just don't forget that percent sign. We've finally made it. All right, now let's check out this one. So $46 out of a total of $200. Where that word total is, that's key to the denominator. So our first step in order to write something as a percentage is to write it as a fraction. Okay, and then we look, okay, so that second step was, can you make an equivalent fraction with a denominator of 100? If we can, that's awesome. So let's look at the relationship between the denominators. We can actually turn this 200 into 100, right? By dividing by 2. And what we do to the denominator, we must do to the numerator. So this is going to be a really quick question. So 46 divided by 2, well, my brain isn't working at the moment, so I'm going to just do a little division. 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 3 is 6. 23 out of 100. And that is, because this out of 100 sign means percent, we can actually write this as 23%. And we're done. Okay, first step, try and write that denominator as 100, and that simplifies your process. Now, Lily scores 28 out of 40 on her science exam. What percentage did she score? Okay, first, to write it as a percentage, write it as a fraction. Second, can you write this as a denominator of 100? Is 40 a factor of 100? It's not, so we can't. That's okay. Now we go, okay, let's times it by 100 on 1. Now, we use the bow tie method. We look to cancel vertically, and then we look to cancel diagonally. Okay, so vertically, those two numbers are even, right? So they have a factor of 2. Now, 28 divide 2, 14. 40 divide 2, 20. Now, looking to cancel vertically on the right, we can't do anything there. But let's see if we can cancel diagonally, okay? Can't do anything there. But we can over here because both numbers end in 0. So let's cancel. Let's go divided by 10, because if they both end in 0, they're divisible by 10. So let's write the other numbers as is and keep going. 20 divided by 10 is 2. 100 divided by 10 is 10. We're getting it simpler with each step, okay? So now, what else have we got? So sometimes you can see, so I'm just looking to cancel further and further. What have we got? I could cancel that more too. I can cancel this vertically more because if both numbers are even, you can keep canceling. So they are divisible by 2, right? So I'm a bit half asleep today. 14 divided 2 is 7. 2 divided 2 is 1. And then numerator times numerator, 7 times 10 is 70 over 1, which we don't need to write. And just check you've answered the question. They're saying what percentage? We've got to put that percent sign. So Lily scored 70% on her exam. And that's not too bad at all. Okay, okay. I'm going to put down this because I don't want to see the whole question. Gets overwhelming. A jug of cordial is 1 part syrup to 7 parts water. Express the amount of syrup as both a fraction. So the fraction of syrup is going to be, you're going to put the syrup on the numerator. All right. So 1 part syrup over. Now, with a denominator, it has to be the total on the denominator. So the total number of parts. What's the total number of parts? So a lot of students put 7 on the denominator, but you've actually got to put 8 because you've got to add up all the parts, right? It's 7 plus 1 on the denominator. Okay, so remember, it's the total on the denominator. You might have to sum some things. A percentage of the total. So remember, percent. We have 1 on 8 times 100 on 1. Because I know that I won't be able to write this percent straight away, right? because I know I won't be able to write this percent straight down because 8 into 100, it's not a factor of 100. So just times it by 100 on 1 straight away. Now, look to cancel vertically, can't do that. Look to cancel vertically over here, nothing going on. What about diagonally? So we see that 2 is a factor, and I can also see that 4 is a factor. So I'm going to actually just try and speed up the process and divide by 4. So 1 on 2 times 100 divided by 4 is 25. That's something to remember. Okay. And then we've got 25. So numerator times numerator, 25 on 2. 25 divided by 2. Let's do that. 2 1s are 2, 2 2s are 4, remainder 1. So this is going to be 12 and a half. That remainder goes on the numerator and the thing you're dividing by goes on the denominator. So 12.5%. 0.5 means 50%. Okay. Express the amount of water as both a fraction. So now they're asked, so before they asked us for the amount of syrup, now we're asked for the amount of water. So the amount of water as both a fraction, let's do it. So we've got 7 parts water. So that's got to go on the numerator over our total, which is 8. Now, so that's it. That's it. The fraction of water is on the denominator. I mean, is done. A percentage of the total. Okay, so we do the fraction, and we know that 8 could not be written with a denominator of 100. Sadly, 8 is not a factor. So we're going to times it by 100 on 1 and look to simplify again. Can't do anything vertically. Can't do anything vertically on the right, but we can here because they're both even numbers. And before we realized that 4 was a factor of 8 and 4 is also a factor of 100. Why did I write 2 when I meant 4? No one will know. Okay. Now let's write it. So 7 stays as is. 8 divided by 4 is 2. 100 divided by 4 is 25 on 1. And then let's look. Can we make that any simpler? Any common factors between 2 and 25? Sadly not. Okay, but yeah, let's now multiply numerator by numerator and denominator by denominator. 25 times 7. I'm just going to do a little calculation. 7 5s are 35, 7 2s are 14, 15, 16, 17. So we've got 175 on the numerator, on 2. And now we might need to do a little division. 2 into 1 goes nothing. 2 into 17. So 2 8s are 16 and 1 is 17. 2 7s are 14. Remainder 1. So this number, this fraction is going to be 87 with the remainder on the numerator and the denominator is that 2. 87.5 and half written as a decimal is 87.5. And don't forget that percent sign. And this is the end of the story for today. So if you want to copy down this slide, this is the summary of how to express a quantity as a percentage of another quantity. Okay, and I will see you in the next video where we're going to find the percentage of a number without a calculator. All right, so I'll see you then.